Hi there. I am Sheila Kennedy, and I am here today for the next episode of Meet the Author. I love getting to showcase authors that have put their brilliance out into the world and share them with you. And today I have a very special author. His name is Scott David Reeves, and he has written an adorable book. Uh, Sorry, Scott, that's just the name that comes to the word that comes to my mind, called Silly Samson. And without further ado, I'd like to welcome you. Thanks for being here, Scott.
Thanks, Sheila. It's so nice to be here.
Well, thank you. And as you can see, Samson is just adorable. Tell us a little bit about what Silly Samson is about.
Silly Samson is a puppy who has to make a decision, and it's just too much for him to figure out. He's got two things to do. One thing is over here, and one thing is over there. And let's go here. No, I'll go there. Here, no, there. And that's sort of the joy of getting to explore the story. Yeah. And it's an adventure. It's fun. Even though it's a small adventure, it's still a good story. It's very sweet. And I wrote it a while back, and the character really came to life with the artwork that was created by Dave Reeves when he drew Samson for me.
Yeah. Well, he did a great job, and you did a great job with the story. Now, tell me a little bit, you've done a lot of things in your life. You have a broad resume, and I know that you're an educator. But why would you write this book, this one in particular? Tell me about that.
Well, the story came to me. I live in New York, and I remember I had to get to class, and I also had to move my car. And if you don't move your car, you get a ticket, and you don't get to class on time, you don't get into the class. And I remember it was raining, and I had to go over here, and then I'm like, well, it's too late. I already had the ticket. And it's like, well, if I don't go now, I'm not going to catch the subway. And then I literally just went in circles. I couldn't make up my mind, and I got the ticket, and I missed the class.
And hence the adventure of Silly Samson was born.
Exactly. Well, I was sitting in the subway station afterwards, realizing I wasn't going to make it to class on time, and just sort of laughing to myself. And I remember there was a saxophone player who was playing in the subway station, and the station was almost empty other than this saxophone player and myself. And I just sat there for a minute, and I wrote out this. It took me about 30 minutes to write the whole thing. I mean, at least the first draft. And but it all came to life that day. I remember it was always such a cool, fun story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of catchy. Silly Samson has two things to do today. One thing's over here, and one thing's over there. What should Samson do first? And I remember I tipped the saxophone player $20 because I was so pleased with. I don't know. I had a reason to sit in the subway and just think about it, and
Right.
rather than get mad at the situation, I just sort of laughed, and it turned out to be a blessing. So
I love it. Well, and so tell me a little bit about what you're hoping the kids will get out of this. And basically what you're talking to right now is parents and teachers and grandparents that are, thinking about buying this book for their child. And so what actually are they going to get out of this besides this cute little dog that they're going to just fall in love with?
Well, the story has to do with decision making, and I mean, I do work in education, so for young learners, we call that like executive functioning. It's like a teacher term for decision making. So other than just being cute, he has to get some things done, and even though it's designed for children, it's something that I think everybody sort of struggles with. I mean, myself included.
Sure.
So just sort of having some very simple direction, and do this thing first, and then this thing second, and I'll get everything done, and at the same time, it's a valuable lesson about making up your mind and just focusing on one thing at a time. It's also very charming and sweet, and it's very joyful because of Dave's wonderful work, and it's a fun story, you know.
I love it. Well, and I think that this isn't, young children is not, this isn't your first rodeo with young kids. This might be your first shot at authoring for young kids, but you've spent some time reading to kids. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, well, I'm an actor, and the union SAG-AFTRA has a program called Book Pals, and I've volunteered for them for a lot of years. In schools or shelters, wherever it is that they need readers, and it was so like learning the things that really grabbed kids' attention. Like the book with no pictures was the first one that really stood out to me and like really got kids excited. And there's no pictures. It's just funny words. So like sounds that get kids interested. Or we're in a book. The Piggy and Elephant series is very good. And then of course Marie Sindak. I co-wrote a piece that was theater for children with the theater company that I worked at for years. And it's fun. I think to encounter these ideas and to, it becomes so much the stuff of legend. Like the first article that I ever wrote for a newspaper, I was in 5th grade, and it was about missing Dr. Seuss, is what it was called, when Dr. Seuss died. And I remember I used to read to my niece, my cousin, who was much younger. And, stories are so important. They become so much a staple in your lives. Like you think about the books that mattered to you when you were a kid, Clifford the Big Red Dog, or Where the Wild Things Are, or Cat in the Hat. And there's stuff that, they have little tiny lessons in it, and at the same time, it's fun. So there's, I'm hoping this might be able to exist in that realm. I think that the lesson is simple and there's a lot of joy in it. And, I wanted to make certain that as many people could have access to it as possible.
I love that. I love that. And I have no doubt that it will be, it will accomplish all the goals that you're setting for it. So I want to know, what is your favorite way to spend time when you're not writing books?
When I'm not writing books, outside of the arts and being an educator, I exercise. I run a lot. I was qualified for the New York City Marathon, but life kind of got in the way. And I hope to still run that. I don't think I think it is starting again this year. I don't think I'm going to qualify, but perhaps next year, or at least I'll do all the qualifying, and then I might run it in 2023. And then outside of that, I live near Central Park, so spent a lot of time wandering around in there. That's nice. And it's New York, so some of the best museums in the world. That's wonderful.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And so, Scott, tell us, what would be the best way to connect with you? If there was a teacher or a parent or, grandparent or anybody that really wanted to get to know you, or have you come to their classroom and read the book to their kids, what's the best way for them to connect with you?
Absolutely. Well, there's a couple of ways. The easiest, I do have a website. It's scottdavidreeves.com. And there's a contact page that's there. It's very secure. The web designer put a lot of safety measures in place. It was like the HIPAA certified. So like it'll ask for your name and your phone number, or your email, and then I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Nice.
And then otherwise, I don't do a lot of social media. Like I don't particularly care for it, but I am on LinkedIn if that's helpful.
Okay, perfect. Well, I love that. And is there any parting words for your potential readers before you sign off today?
I just hope that they enjoy the story. Yeah.
I'm sure they will. It's hard not to. He's just so adorable.
It is. I'm really proud of it. I'm so glad to get the chance to share it. And, thank you so much for letting me participate. And it's been a joy working with you.
Well, thank you. It has been an utter honor. And I am just thrilled that we can bring this to the world. And I really think it's going to be a better place because of Silly Samson. So
Yay.
thank you so much for being here today. And I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon or morning or evening, whatever that is. Go check out Silly Samson. It's going to be available on Amazon. And we will sign in again soon with another interview for Meet the Author Interview Showcase. Bye for now.
Yay.